Hey there, and welcome back. It's July, and while most of the country just finished watching fireworks and celebrating the 4th, there's something else big that just happened, especially if you're on Social Security. President Trump signed what's being called the One Big Beautiful Bill, and buried in the middle of all the political back and forth is something that could affect your Social Security taxes this year. So yes, your next payment may look the same, but what you owe on it when tax season comes around might not. And guess what? That change could mean real savings for a lot of people. But like most things out of Washington, there's a catch. So stick around because there are a few important details you'll want to know now, not later. And before we get too far into it, I want to ask, have you noticed any changes to your payments or your experience with the Social Security office lately? Maybe you got help faster than usual, or maybe something didn't go as planned. Share your story in the comments, even a short one. You never know who else might be going through the same thing. And if you find these updates helpful each month, hit that subscribe button so you can stay informed without having to dig through headlines yourself. All right, let's talk about the July payment schedule first, since that's what most people are here to check. If you receive SSI, Supplemental Security Income, you already got your July payment on Tuesday, July 1st. That's the normal schedule for SSI, always the first of the month unless it falls on a weekend or holiday. Now, if you get both SSI and Social Security, or your benefits started before May 1997, your regular Social Security check should arrive on Thursday, July 3rd. For everyone else, meaning your benefits started after May 1997, it depends on your birthday. If your birthday is between the 1st and the 10th, your payment is set for Wednesday, July 9th. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your deposit should arrive Wednesday, July 16th. And if your birthday is between the 21st and the 31st, then your payment is coming on Wednesday, July 23rd. If you're signed up for direct deposit, that money usually hits your account early in the day, sometimes before you even wake up. But if you're still getting checks in the mail, give it a little time. And just make sure your mailing address and bank info are still current, especially if you've moved recently or changed banks. Now let's go back to that new law, the One Big Beautiful Bill, and what it means for Social Security. One of the big promises was no more tax on your Social Security. That's what some people heard. But let's clear that up. What the bill actually includes is a brand new tax deduction, $6,000 if you're single, or $12,000 for couples over 65. That deduction is designed to help offset the taxes you'd otherwise pay on your benefits. It doesn't mean no one pays taxes anymore, but it does mean fewer people will hit the threshold where benefits become taxable. According to early estimates, about 88% of seniors will now either pay nothing or much less in federal tax on their Social Security benefits. And that's a big deal if you're living on a fixed income and trying to stretch every dollar. But here's what a lot of people missed. This change doesn't get rid of the current formula that determines whether your benefits are taxable. It just gives you a bigger deduction to lower your overall income on paper. The math underneath is still the same. And if you have income from retirement accounts, pensions, or part-time work, you could still owe taxes. So just something to keep in mind come next spring. And the IRS will need to catch up with these changes, so your tax software or advisor may not have all the new updates in place yet. When in doubt, check back with the SSA's official website or your tax preparer before filing anything. That said, this deduction could genuinely help some folks keep more of what they've earned. But some people are worried it comes with a cost, and they're not wrong. You see, by reducing the taxes being collected, the trust fund that pays for Social Security could run out a little sooner. According to the Congressional Budget Office, the new timeline moves insolvency up by 1 year, from 2033 to 2032. That's not immediate, but it's still sooner than expected. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers even compared it to poking new holes in a bucket that's already leaking. Others say it's worth it, that seniors deserve tax relief just like everyone else. And I get that, but it does raise a fair question. How do we keep the system strong for future generations? Now, if you're wondering whether this tax change means more money in your pocket today, not exactly. Your monthly benefit hasn't changed, and your July check will look the same as last month's. The real change shows up when you file your taxes next year. That's when the new deduction can reduce what you owe, or maybe even bump you out of the taxable range altogether. Also, something that hasn't gone away is the problem of overpayments. Earlier this year, the SSA came under fire for taking back entire checks from people they said were overpaid, sometimes without much warning. After a ton of backlash, the policy was changed. Now, if you're flagged for an overpayment, the agency can't take more than 50% of your monthly benefit unless you specifically allow it. It's still not great, but it's better than before. And remember, if you get one of those letters, you can appeal it, ask for a waiver, or set up a more manageable payment plan. Just don't ignore it. The sooner you respond, the better your options. And speaking of delays, we're still seeing long wait times at Social Security offices and on the phone. That's partly due to ongoing staff shortages and the rollout of new AI systems under the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE for short. If you've been on hold for an hour or more lately, you're not alone. Some people have told me they've had to wait over a month just to get a call back. The SSA says new tech will eventually make things faster, but right now, it's still hit or miss depending on where you live. And one more reminder, if you're applying for retirement or survivor benefits in person and not online, you might be asked to verify your identity with extra steps. That rule started back in April as part of a broader fraud prevention push. It doesn't apply to Medicare or SSDI applicants, but it's another thing that's catching people off guard. On a more positive note, if you were born in 1960, this is a milestone year. You officially reach full retirement age this year, 67. That means you can now claim your benefits with no reductions. Of course, you can still wait longer to increase your monthly amount, but 67 is now your full benefit age. Congrats if that's you. So then, what should you do this month? First, double check your payment date, especially if you're expecting a deposit later in July. Keep an eye on your bank account or mailbox and watch for any surprises. Second, be aware that the new tax deduction doesn't change your monthly payment, but it might help reduce what you owe when tax season comes around. Talk to a tax pro if you're not sure how that will play out for you. And if you run into issues, whether it's an overpayment letter, a missed payment, or trouble getting through on the phone, try logging into your My Social Security account. That's often the fastest way to check your status, especially while field offices are still understaffed. Also, let me know, did your July check arrive on time? Are you seeing more delays or confusion with the new rules? Or has something actually gone smoother for you lately? Leave a comment below so we can all learn from each other. Sometimes the best info comes from real stories, not press releases. And if this helped clear things up for you, give it a like so more people can find it. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good time. We're tracking all the changes in Social Security, Medicare, and everything else Washington decides to surprise us with next. Take care of yourself, keep your documents handy, and I'll see you again soon.